Hi. Um, the top's all done on the dresser. And before I put it back together, I wanted to show you how I cleaned up the fronts of the drawers and the brass handles so they would look better. Just to give you an idea, this is what the brass handles look like after I just washed them off with soap at the start of the project. This is one that I've cleaned up. So I'm going to walk you through the process of how you clean up the brass handles and the drawer fronts so they match the nice new top. All right, I'm going to take the handles off. Each one has 2 screws inside the drawer. I've got a screwdriver, and I'm going to hold on to the handle on the outside and then turn the screws on the inside, like that. When you turn them, part of the handle comes loose. And if that thing on the outside is turning, you hold it with a pair of pliers and then turn the screw. Turn it to the left to loosen it. When we put it back on, we'll turn it to the right to tighten it up. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. That's what they taught me. So there's one. Slide this off. Hold on to the handle on the outside. Turn this to the left. Oh, that's tight. Tighter than it looks. These handles have probably been on here for 80 or 100 years since anybody took them off. And sometimes when that happens, screws get very tight. And that screw just broke off. So we've got a problem. We'll have to figure that out. So I've got all the handles off but one. This top of this screw broke off when I tried to twist it. So I'm having to cut the head of the screw off with a hacksaw blade. I always wear leather gloves when I do that. And I'll let you see what I'm doing here. And we'll see if it works. And I'm taking this hacksaw blade, sticking on this screw, just holding it with my hand, and then sliding it up and down. This is a very sharp blade and it cuts through metal, but it cuts very, very slowly. Most of the way through. I may be able to pull it out the spot. There. The screw came off. The rest of this will pull right through. Then I just have to figure out how to get the rest of that screw out of there and find a new screw the exact same size to replace it with. But now I have all the handles off and I can clean them up. Okay, I have all the brass pieces off the front of the drawers and I'm going to clean them up with this stuff. It's called Brasso. My brother Paul introduced this to me when he was first in the Navy and he had to polish up his brass buttons. It's a really good chemical for cleaning up dirty metal, but you need to wear the rubber gloves when you use it. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera down so you can see what I'm working on. And what I'm doing is I'm putting all of the pieces for each handle in this little container and then shaking this stuff up so it's all mixed up. Shake, 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 shake. And then squirting it right onto that metal. And then after I squirt it on, get my trusty toothbrush and spread it out everywhere so that it can work on all the metal. These probably going to have to do this twice for each piece because the first time gets one layer of dirt off and you wash it off and you see all the places you missed. And you'll be pretty generous with this stuff because there's a lot of tarnish on these. I'm just spreading it out so it gets in all the little metal flowers and leaves and tight spaces on this, on the little knob that came off. And on the handles. These are move along. So while the brass is soaking in the chemical to clean it, I wanted to show you what I'm doing with the fronts of the drawers where the brass handles came off. If you can look up here, you'll see that where those handles were, they captured a lot of dirt and dust over the years. There's probably 100 years worth of coal dust from Pittsburgh and animal hairs and, you know, just regular household dust there. So I'm going to wipe those off with this rag on both sides. And then clean it up with just a little bit of soap and water so that I'm not capturing that dust back under the handles when I put the nice shiny handle back on. I got a little soap and water over here. I'm just going to rub that up a little bit. I cleaned the front of the drawer with this same soap before, but it didn't really get under the handles, and that's why I decided to take them off and clean them up too. And all that stuff comes off really easy. Just dust. There's a few little dark places around where the edges were, but they come off okay. And I'll do the other side, and then I'll do the other drawer just like this. Okay, handles have been sitting in this for about half an hour, 45 minutes. So I'm going to open it up and see what they look like and start cleaning them up. Off the lid. See it changed color a little bit, kind of blue. What I'm going to do is I've got the soapy water here, and I'm just going to kind of dunk them in the soapy water, wipe them off with a rag, see what they look like. See how much shinier they are? They're going to need a little more cleaning than that, and I'll probably have to take them upstairs and clean them in the kitchen sink a little bit before I'm sure whether or not they need another go-round. So we're getting to the end of the project now. I'm putting the handles back onto the drawers. The drawers are all cleaned up. The handles are all cleaned up. And taking the screwdriver and screwing them in from behind. First, you have to hook these handles into these little pieces of metal that stick out, and that's what goes through the drawer into the other side. I already have the screws back here, so I'm just going to tighten them up and see how well they do. Tightening up the one on this side right now with the screwdriver, and then working on the other side. Got to hold this in place while you do it so that the little handle doesn't fall off. You just twist that in there, twist that in on that side, and pretty soon it's nice and tight. Sometimes you need to hold the metal part with a pair of pliers to make sure it doesn't turn around while you're twisting the screw. You have to get it tight so that the handle doesn't rattle. Okay, now that's on there tight. Handle doesn't rattle. One more step before you put the drawer back into the dresser. These old drawers were made differently from the way they make dressers now. You look on the side of a drawer now, there's like a metal slide or a piece of plastic that it slides on. On these, it's just a piece of wood that slides up against another piece of wood. So you want that to slide nice and easy and not bind up inside this dresser. So what they used to do in the old days is rub it with a candle. I didn't find a candle, but I have a crayon. So I'm just going to wax that up with a crayon before I put it back in the dresser. And that'll make it slide nice and easy when it goes back in the dresser. There's another piece of wood on this side that slides in the dresser. Rub on that with a crayon. Doesn't matter what color crayon you use because it's going to be underneath, but I use a white one that won't show up at all if a little piece of it falls out. Okay, I'm going to put this back in the dresser and we'll see how it works. Okay, the dresser project is done. You can see it's got nice shiny handles, nice shiny top. It's all cleaned up, not as dirty as it was before. The drawers slide in and out nice and easy with the handles, and so it's ready to go back in the house as soon as I can figure out how to carry it back up the stairs. So I'll be working on that, and you guys have fun.